Hey, what's up you guys? Just messing around with, some of the buildings and, basically the diorama that I used for the World Tournament. And, I'm just messing around with it. Wanted to see what else I could come up with. Trying to get this Godzilla theme running out of my head because, I gotta do something totally different if I make it into round 2. So, these buildings won't be back until God knows, until, like stuff for the group page. So, I'm working on my cutouts. As you can see, got a giant cutout. It looks really good for, my really bad hands. And if you guys don't know, my hands are really bad. They're really shaky, so it's very hard to do like really good lines and stuff like that. So I think this came out great for the most part. It looks really cool on camera. Excuse me. There's a few things that I had. Originally there was no cutout, and all the fire that's here, that you see here and here, were in the back. So I brought this fire to the front, and I moved this one more forward. If you want to see the original one, it is on my Vine. Yes, I do have a Vine under the same name, Brandasauresrex. You can go check it out. There's a photo of me there. You can probably tell all that stuff. You know how to look up things on Vine. You guys are stupid. So I have the 2 impact bases. I really just reorganized the setup from the display that I had for the World Tournament. Some of these buildings were in different spots and stuff like that. Wanted to put more of the buildings that I made in the forefront. But there's one building that's in the back. It's right here. That building right there that didn't get a lot of love, that I thought was going to get a little bit more love on video, but it didn't because of so many other elements. So I want to show it off a little bit. After this clip, I just wanted to just show this off because I think this just looked really cool. I put a light over here. I don't know if I said that earlier, but there's a light over there. Just kind of show you guys. A little orb light that I found at the dollar store. So yeah, I love the shadow of the one building hitting the other one. I just love how this came out. Really cool. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Hey, so here's a little changes that I made. I made the light a little bit closer to the fire, just to give it that more glowy effect. I have the light touching this fire a little bit more, so you could see it. I love the way this cutout sits on the building. There's just a little wax that's holding it together. So there's a little wax ball right here between F and A, kind of holding that all together. So that's pretty cool. This kind of reminds me of a book that I was reading that kind of inspired this. It's called Godzilla Cataclysms, or Cataclysm, I believe. It's like this fire just fell. So it's about a post-apocalyptic world where Godzilla came and just like wrecked like all these major cities. Oh wow, that looks really cool. Wrecked basically wrecked these cities after a fight with some kaijus, and basically he's kind of like a myth to the people now because no one has seen him in a bunch of years. And after exploring some uninhabitable territory, these teenagers come across Godzilla, and it's really interesting. It's really cool, and I want to see where this book is going. I just read the first book and it was really good. I want to read more of it. I also want to read more of the Godzilla, I think it's God and Monsters. I think it looked really interesting. I love the look of the book, and I believe it's the same artist that's doing both books, but 2 different writers. So they have like the same kind of look, and they're almost well, some people have a theory that they're related in some type of way, like the books, like the events of one book happen in another. So I'm just trying to like fix things to make it look as cool as possible. So yeah, so I like this a little bit more. The lower angle makes Godzilla look scary and large comparing to these buildings in the front and stuff like that. So I think this looks really cool. So I think this is gonna be my A side. So I'm gonna snap some shots of this, and I'll talk to you guys later. Hey, what's up you guys? So I just wanted to show you the buildings that I used and basically explain, because this is not all of them. This is I think about half of them. There's another 6, another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's another 5, excuse me. So I just want to show you guys a little something, you know. So let's start with this one, this little small one. Basically, I found a bunch of styrofoam after kind of looking for something to use to build some buildings for my display for the World Tournament, and I found a whole bunch of styrofoam. I was really lucky that my grandmother was replacing her TV, or that, well, the family was replacing my grandmother's TV, and there's a box of styrofoam. So I snagged it and I just started snapping it apart into pieces, and it became 4 buildings of these smaller types. So this one kind of connected to the silver one, and it kind of just connected. So if the silver one, I can't show you right now because it's still holding up the Godzilla atomic breath right now, so I don't want to take the display down right now. So yeah, so I just wanted to talk a little bit about it and what I did, because this was a really soft styrofoam, and the paint that I used, I'm trying to get a good one that's actually not messed up. Nope, that one's messed up too. There you go. So I used this kind of paint. I don't even know if this paint is any good. I bought it at a Michael's store just because it was near my dentist. Let's actually zoom in so you guys could read. So let me know, is this a good paint or anything? Because I used all this paint for all of these buildings for all different purposes. So yeah, so just want to show you guys some little details. So, because a lot of the details didn't get to be seen, so you can see like there's a giant crater in this building, and I didn't do it on this side, but on this side, if you kind of look, you can kind of see through here. Focus a little bit. You can kind of see through the holes that I created on the other side. So if you look, you can see my hand through there, and I thought that was really cool. I thought that came out really nice, and you can see there's a slash on this building. The backs are kind of plain, but I used them to figure out the wash colors. So the bottoms are pretty much black. Oh, my computer went off. The bottoms are pretty much black, just so that I didn't have to like paint anything. Just grab the black and I kind of just wiped it. But then you see some silvers and some browns in here. Focusing, right? So there's some silver and some browns, and then I used a dry black wash just to, you know, add some dirt colors to it, because you know, you want to make it look dirty, you know, especially for a building that's kind of falling apart. So and then I kind of jabbed my X-Acto knife into each little hole, kind of pulled it out just to get like these little like windows. I like the idea of a window, and then what I was kind of doing was kind of like painting the inside with a smaller brush, just kind of dabbing it in there until it kind of came out the way I wanted. So you can see the silvers. Let's actually focus in. There you go. So you can see the silvers in there, which looks really nice. I think the silver looks great. It makes it look like, you know, like the building is collapsing within itself. So like each floor is kind of falling down. And this is actually modeled after my building, which I use for inspiration, because my building has a little arch on the top of it, but it does have a circle. My building's kind of fancy for my neighborhood, but I think it's cool. And then, oh, you can see my watch, and you can see my mess. Here's the first building that I started with. It was a piece of styrofoam that was holding the TV at the bottom of the box, so you can see it's hollow. I wanted to do some things where I had some levels, so like the whole inside would have levels of different floors. So I was gonna make like a level here, a level here, and then a kind of really messed up level here. But none of that came through because I didn't know where I didn't want to do the bottom half, and then this is not straight, it's kind of at an angle. If you can see it from down here, you see how it's at an angle, so nothing would have came out the way I wanted it, and I would have had to make like mini apartments in here, and that was going to be a lot of work for the display, so I ended up just going with this side. It's funny. So this building just got the silver and a black wash. I thought it came out pretty cool. It was a learning curve. You could see that the windows are not, all of them are straight and or not all the same size. You can see this one's really small comparing to this very large one. So this was just, you know, trial and error. It still made it into the video. It's shown very briefly, but I thought it came out pretty cool. This was the first one, so you know, you learn from your first one. And God, did I learn not to I learned to do the windows smaller, but then it became a pain in the ass to do. So let me grab the last building, which I think was the coolest one, and it was the centerpiece of the display I did, which is the building that Godzilla is crashing into in the video, which is cool. I think it's really cool. I thought this was really creative to just kind of get the styrofoam and just like break through it. I basically stabbed it a few times with a knife and kind of carved it out from the back. I carved this out. It's kind of outlined that I wanted because I didn't know which side was going to be the front when I was making it. So I carved it out, and then I kind of just jabbed it from the other side until everything fell out. So then I decided that this side would be the back because it, this side would be the front because it had all these cool lines on the inside, which I think looks great. All of this in here, I think this came out really cool comparing to how cut off this is. You can see some parts of where the knife went in, like right here. It's kind of like very, you know, square. So I didn't like that. And then I did all the windows. Every single window was cut out and matched up with the ones on the side. So if you can see, again, you can see my hand through the sides, which I think is really cool. Every side has this kind of, like, you can see through it, except for the top, of course. So yeah, I thought that came out really cool. And most of the windows are the same size and leveled. And this took a lot of paint. Because I had to paint the whole thing in this light brown. Then I had to put the silver on the inside, put the brown, and then get into these windows and kind of paint them silver as well. So if I zoom in, you can kind of see it. There you go. Kind of see the silvers in there, which is great. And then I had this other idea for the display where there was going to be debris falling out of the building, and there was going to be an explosion, and I was working on a cutout for that. It's somewhere around here, actually. Here we go. It was actually this. This was going to be coming out of it in some sort of fashion. I forgot how I was going to do it. I think it was supposed to be like that or something. I forgot. But I ran out of time. Again, I have really bad hands, so you know, doing cutouts is a bitch for me. But I'm really happy with the way these buildings came out. I'm very proud of them. I can't wait to get my DTOF, which I'm hopefully getting next week or this week, so that I can put these all in one spot together, and with some Godzilla villains and Godzilla friendlies, and you know, just, you know, have it all together in one spot. I'll show that off when that's all done. But yeah, this is the bottom. I put the silver because I just needed this not to be white, and you can see the white coming through because it was one coat of white paint. And then the top has also the light brown, the dark brown, and the silver mixed in because the building is falling apart, and I kind of was caving it in to make it look like the building's falling in, like this is gonna come apart, kind of smash into itself. So I thought that was cool. Yeah, so that's about it for what I did for the display. I also did two cutouts. This one, which is the really long cutout that destroyed my hand for a day. I could not move my fingers after working on this. There we go. Zoom in a little bit. This is the cutout. It looks a lot better here than it did in the video. Just because I messed up right here. I'll admit it, I messed up in some spots. A small drop of water touched it and has this little stain there. I don't know if that's in the video or not or whatever. But yeah, that came out cool. And then I had Godzilla's roaring effect, which I stole straight from the comics. It comes out hard to understand, and I'll show you the original picture. I'm actually loading it right now. So yeah, so I thought this came out really cool. It looks a little weird, but you can make out the letters if you study it long enough. So if you look, look, it says EEKAEEEAR, and then the rest is kind of like it fades away into nothing. And then I had little cutouts. Well, here's the photo. Focus in. There you go. Oh, you can see my light. You know what? Let me turn this off for a second. So yeah, you can see the lettering here. Focus. This is where I got it from. I forgot which book this is. It's Godzilla, I think God and Monsters. There's the cutout, the EE, KAEEEAR something something, and then these exclamation points and the GIF I got they're also on the buildings in the display as well, which I think is cool. I think that came out really nice. I hope people understand why they're there. It's supposed to be people being crushed and screaming for their lives. So it's kind of dark. Yeah, got to look. It's dark like that, especially in these comic books. Jesus Christ. So yeah, so that's basically it. So I'll talk to you guys next time in the next episode, where I'm going to be assembling my DTOF and crying because I'm going to have to move all my stuff. So I hope you guys join me there. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.
That's crispy.